finding the domain and range of a piecewise function using a graphical technique. So what we're going to start off with is f of x, a piecewise function that has three well-defined pieces. We'll start off by making a graph. So after we have graphed our equation, it becomes very straightforward at how to find the domain and range. Our domain is the set of all possible x values that the function can take. Now if you'll notice, we start at -4, and the function can take all of the x values until it reaches +4. So our domain, I'm going to go ahead and use interval notation, is from -4 through +4. Of course, you can use set builder as well as inequality notation. For our range is a set of all possible y values for this function. Now, since we've already had graphed this, you'll notice that the lowest value y reaches is at 0. And the highest value that y reaches is 2. Also, we notice that y can take any value between 0 and 2. So my range is going to be all of the y values between 0 and +2. So the key to finding the domain and range of a piecewise function is generally easiest found by graphing. For our next example, we're going to look at the piecewise function f of x equals x cubed over 3 when x is less than 0, and f of x equals x plus 2 when x is greater than 0. Again, we're going to start off by looking for the domain and range by graphing this piecewise function. So I have a graph of this piecewise function, and I notice that this piecewise function is discontinuous at x equals 2. Let's go ahead and start off with the domain. Domain, the set of all possible x values. Now, as I look, I know that it goes to the left forever, so I'm approaching -infinity. As I go to the right, I have an arrow, which means I go forever to the right, which means I will approach +infinity. What I have to be concerned about with a discontinuous piecewise function is there anything missing in the middle, and this is where I would be concerned about. The question is, can x have a value at 0? And on this piece the answer is no, but on this piece the answer is yes. So x can be anything from -infinity through 0, including 0 and everything to the right. So it's basically all real numbers. I would basically write this, if I was going to use interval notation, you can state it from -infinity to +infinity. With the range, it's going to be a little bit different here, because on the range, this break is going to be very relevant, which means this piece of the function has a range from -infinity all the way up to 0, but it does not include 0. So from -infinity up to 0, not including 0. This next piece has a range starting at the lowest value of 2 and increasing forever, which means I will start at 2, included, through approaching +infinity. Both of these are part of the range for this one piecewise function. So that I can illustrate that these are both part of the range, I'm going to put a little u to represent the union of both pieces makes one range.